In the next few videos, we're going to take a look at fabricating some custom sheet metal pods for the AC vents in my 66 F100 dash. We're going to shrink some metal, we're going to stretch some metal, and going to use a brand new tool. So stick around and I hope you enjoy it. So here's the piece I made. The top's been rounded over and I had to shrink this. And the bottom, I put this convex curve in, which by the way is not perfect. You can see lots of hammer marks. I'll explain those later. But the curve is there. All that needs is some primer. A little bit of blocking and some primer. No, not even any body filler. Maybe a light coat if I want to hurry it up. But that's very smooth. It's just got those hammer marks that on the camera look bad. But it's a piece that, you know, a week ago I couldn't have made. 2 weeks ago I couldn't have made. So there it is. I'll show you how I made it. Today what I'm working on, this is my AC vent. It came from Vintage Air. I think pretty much all the ones you get are, you know, this same basic idea. It goes in a 2.5 inch hole. These are plain Jane ones, but I like them. All those fancy aluminum ones just don't really. This one swivels and locks, and I think a lot of the aluminum ones don't. So basically I made a template with a piece of pipe that I happen to have, a 3-inch OD pipe. It basically you know, is just a little bit larger than the vent. So my first idea, let me get in here where I can show it. So my first idea, you know, I put it up in here, and you know, it fits, but obviously that's not flat. So I really wish I had this camera on tripod, but I don't. So basically what I think I'm going to do is put, you know, I think what I'm going to do is make a flat panel at the top. Well, it's got to be flat for the vent. And then put a bend in it right here, a very slight bend. It'll bend down and blend into the dash, and basically if I can put a little shape in it, I will. I can probably put a little bit of a reverse curve in it, you know, because it's going to be, you know, a few inches long. I got enough room to run a taper down into there. The top, I made this other pattern, this other side of the pattern, to run it basically all the way up into a dash. In other words, so it'd be a flat face all the way up. I'm not totally against it, but if I can take the top and, you know, roll it over back into the dash, that's a slicker way of doing it. Now, I mentioned a guy named the Astronaut on the Club FTE, the Ford website where all the Ford truck guys, let's just say all, you know, big Ford truck website. He's a member on there, and he's doing he's done an F100 build and doing one now. And he put AC vents in the holes here. Now, I had this idea years ago. I'm not trying to steal Astronaut's thunder, because he actually did it. He made basically a wooden die, more or less, and shaped around it and made a nice, just perfect looking dimple at the bottom. I don't have the skills for that. I wish I did. I'm so damn picky. If I tried to do it, I'd hate it before I got done with it. So I'm not going to try and replicate what he did. I don't have the skills for it. Now, what I could do, and I hate to say this out loud, I want to get one of those Harbor Freight planishing hammers. And if I had one of those, then I could stretch a dimple into it with that real, you know, with the steepest stretching die, ball dimple die they got, or somebody's got, or make one or something. So if I had one of those, I could probably stretch the bottom out and make that dimple at the bottom and do a nice curve. However, I don't see anything wrong with having a nice reverse curve going down into the dash either, coming from a flat spot. I'd have to work the sides in for here, you know, I'd have to work it in on here on each side, blending it with weld or filler, or I don't want to use filler if I had to. Blend it in with weld. So whereas if I tapered it, you know, if I tapered it into it, his basically tapers into a teardrop. So it kind of follows this contour back. If I was to happen to get a planishing hammer, I might try it. I want to get one. I don't have any plans at the moment to get one, but that could change. I've already got one new tool coming. I'm not going to talk about it yet because it's not here yet. So basically what I'm going to do is just make me a pattern, or cut out a piece of metal, start forming it and see what happens. That's about all I know how to do at this point. So that's what I'm about to do, and just see what happens. What I do have to do, here's the 3-inch pipe I'm going to use as an anvil to form the steel over. Whereas the astronaut, he turned some MDF wooden blanks. I'm just going to use this steel pipe. I got it, it's the right size. I'll bevel the edges to get a nice round edge and form over that. Now what's going to happen is these edges are going to have to shrink. If I leave enough material at the top, I think I can shrink them enough with my little handheld shrinker stretcher. Not handheld, but Lancaster shrinker shrink. With my Lancaster style shrinker stretcher, which it is a Lancaster by the way. I might be able to shrink it enough with that to make it actually, you know, curl back in there nicely. And then the bottom, I don't know, I have to play with the bottom. There's ways to do it. I can shrink it with a mallet. The hammer is the best way to do it. It'd be the fastest and most, you know, fastest way. I want to get one of those things anyway. Just this would be a good excuse to get one and learn on. Well, not learn, but do something small like this with it. So anyway, next we're going to cut out some metal and get to forming and see what happens. Alright, I'm going to take my grinder and round over this edge so I got a nice smooth edge. I could use the big grinder, but this little small one will do just fine. I ain't taking off that much. That big grinder will eat it up too fast, honestly. For my taste. I'm not being very aggressive with this. I am using a 36 grit disc, which cuts pretty fast. Last week I'm just putting a 55 on it and then kind of rounding it over a little bit. You're going to round this edge over and try to beat that panel down, fold it over, it's going to cut it, or mar the hell out of it, and then cut it. So, doing this serves a couple purposes. It stops it from cutting into the metal, plus it gives it a nice round edge to roll over on. Which, while I'm hammering on it, any marks in here or irregularities will definitely transfer over into the panel I'm working on. I mean, you can think of this as a die, because that's exactly what it is. It needs to be good, shaped well and smooth. Hit it with a little 60 grit. It's certainly not going to be perfect. Now I am going to hit it with a file. Imagine that. That will dress it up a lot, straighten it up a lot. To get a really perfect shape, I need to chuck it up in a lathe, turn it in a lathe, and I don't have a lathe, not a metal lathe. I almost bought a metal lathe here recently and common sense won out. I had a certain project in mind. Finally changed my mind about how to do it, so I didn't require a lathe. Now, taking this file is a very critical step here. I can get it pretty much a nice flat surface all the way around. You can't do that with a grinder. You've got to file it or sand it or something with a block, whatever you prefer. You're not going to get it nice and smooth and straight with a grinder unless you're way better at it than I am. Maybe some of y'all are. If you are, more power to you. But I mean that because I can't do that. I can get it close, but I like filing anyway. I get good control on what I'm doing. I can see it, and I get a good smooth edge because I've been sanding already. I mean, you could do this with a block and some sandpaper too. It'd be a little faster, it'd be a little slower. File is definitely faster, I think anyway. You know, I'm doing small parts. There's things I can get to, and something I got to get a little labor. So I can go further here. I'll get the table. Go back there, go around, I'll get this way. I'm trying not to go back again. I'll see my butt. I don't see my butt. If you dig, sorry. I think I can. I'll be on the other time. It takes a long take. I'll say it right here. Take it off your board. The first piece I'm going to make, I don't expect. This is the first time we're doing this. I'm changing the variable. More like the first one we did. I'm doing a little more. I got to make it on the side. The driver's side. Now I'm going to go like this. I'm just going to keep the file making the same position. You're all fine. Now that's the same. I'm saying the first time I make it, I'm going to be the same. I'm going to be the first time. It's kind of like here. I just shot the same time out. Over here. So I'm talking about the first time. Alright, you probably can't see that. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a rounded over dressed up edge. Pretty good actually. Alright, so let me get my pattern and stuff marked out and we'll give it a try. Here's a piece of metal I'm going to try to bend. Here's my pipe. I was going to do it by hand, but I got to thinking it's probably going to be better if I fixture this thing. So I put a few tack welds on the bottom edge. I'm rolling over the top, so they shouldn't get in the way. I dimpled the center hole for the vent. If I actually make this thing successfully, I'll need my center punch marked. I could drill it out ahead of time, but if I do that and have this big old hole in here, the metal is just going to go crazy when I try to shrink it or stretch it or move it or bend it. Which could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. I'm going to try it with it panel flat. In other words, you know, just like that. I know for a fact I'm gonna have to shrink the metal back here, because when I bend it over, you're shrinking. You know, you're shrinking metal. I don't know. I have never done this before, so we're fixing to find out what's going to happen. How successful I may or may not be. All I can do is give it a shot. Let me just try this. All right. Oh, I forgot to mention, I measured down. I made me a measurement here, 5/8 of an inch down, so I know where to put this if I have to do it again or make the other side. And this is probably twice as much bead as I need. I really only expect to need about 3/8 to half an inch. But I wanted to leave extra material. If I can put it in the shrinker stretcher, I will, because that'll certainly help me. In fact, I could probably do that first thing. Now that I think about it, let me try that. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get the shrinker set up, and I'll be back. All right, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to put some, I want to shrink, you know, in. So I'm going to put some pressure up the way I want the shrink to go. And just see if it'll do any good or not. I don't know if it's going to do any good. It can't hurt to try, though. Last time I used a shrinker, it wasn't working very good. I don't know if I did something to the jaws. Okay, I put some shrink in it for sure. I don't know if you can see that. That's just from shrinking it. Definitely put some curl back into it and some shrink. Bird. All right, let me hit it again. I'm not surprised it worked, but yet I'm surprised it worked. You know what I mean? I'm getting on it pretty hard that time. Then next I'll get on it with the hammer and see what that'll do. Because I'm definitely not going to be able to get the whole thing by shrinking. There's no doubt about that. Alright, let me get the hammer on it and see what that'll do. I'm going to have to do a lot more shrinking, I know that, and I'm just not sure how I'm going to do it. And I know I got it turned around backwards from the camera, but I'm right-handed, so. I guess I can move the camera. Alright, first thing I want to do is work this edge around the pipe and kind of define that edge a little bit. Again, I know you can't see this. Alright, it's definitely moving. Ran into my tack weld. I was afraid that was going to happen. I should have put that tack further down. Oh well. Undone it now. I'll have to take, I guess I could cut that tack off. Now, we are gone about as far as we can go without some more shrink. But I'm here to tell you that that's proven the concept. Huh. That's what we're starting to get right there. Now that tack weld I put on there, I put it up too far. I got to grind this one. I put low, good and low over here. I got to grind this one off and move it down. The next thing I need to do is either probably cut some more off the top. Well, I'm gonna give it a couple more, well, I'm gonna give it some more shrinks first. But at some point, I gotta cut some more off the top. Tell you what though, I'm not sure how deep a curl I gotta have. I think around 3/8 to half of an inch I gotta have, you know, curled in. I might have a quarter. Let me try some more shrinks and see if I can shrink it anymore. And by the way, I gotta make a stand for these things. I just haven't never done it. I want one of those kick pedals for it where you work it with your foot. I want to get one of those bad. If I ever do a major project where I'm going to have to use one of these things a lot, I'm going to have to get one and make one. I might could make one if I can figure out the engineering how it works. Put a definite bend in it doing that, so see if I can help work that out now. Oh, let me cut that tack weld. I'll be right back. Alright, that's going to leave a bad spot in my panel, but hopefully I can work it out. I knew better than to put that weld up that high. Shouldn't have done that, but I did anyway. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Let me cut some more off in the corners because I got too much metal here. It needs to be shrunk pretty strong too, and I can't. The shrinker stretcher is not going to do any more shrinking. Let's cut off about half of it. I know you can't see this. Just trust me. I'm cutting off about half of that excess hanging out. In case you're curious, this is a piece of 20 gauge. I could have tried to do it with 18. 18 would have been a lot tougher. Since I've never done this before. 20 won't fight me near as much as 18 would have. The fact that I can't shrink this has become very apparent because it needs to shrink, and I can't shrink it anymore, not with what I've got. Yeah, this dimple, I'm gonna have to straighten this out. It's really kind of cruddy. That may have ruined me. I don't know, I can probably fix it. So as I was saying, there's not a lot more strategies I can do here to try to shrink this anymore. I'm working with a pair of duck bills, trying to straighten the flange out a little bit. I could put a dolly in there and do it too. But this is working for what I'm doing. That actually, that doesn't look bad. The main concern I have is that reveal around the front. Except for that spot where that tack weld was I left on there in the wrong spot. That reveal looks pretty darn nice. I may actually be able to use this. Let me get a dolly. May or may not help. What I don't want to do now is add stretch to it. If I hit it hard enough with this metal hammer on dolly, I'll stretch it. But all I'm doing is just using the dolly as a backing tool. Just work it down. This actually is the right dolly I need because I don't have one. Really. The only way now, if I have to roll that back anymore, I might have to pie cut it. Because I can't stretch it, I can't shrink anymore. I don't have enough bite left in these jaws to do it. Well, when I cut this thing off, I will have enough bite. Okay. Since my reveal is formed pretty darn well, alright, I'm going to cut it loose. Now what I haven't done is form the bottom yet. I would have had a nice straight edge right here. Whoops. I would have had a nice straight edge on both sides, but I messed up. And with that damn spot weld. The bottom, I'm not sure if I can do it, and I ain't saying I can do it. If I can do it, I'd like for this to come down into a teardrop shape. Not that abrupt, of course. I got to look at it and see. Now the other thing, and the first thing I actually thought about doing, and I just messed up, and I'm going to do that, is there's a bend line right. See this bend? This mark, a line I marked is a bend line. I was going to bend it flat there, and then put some convex curve in it. So I'm working this this edge now to make that kind of happen. So I shouldn't have bent this all the way over, is what that means. I'm just working that bend back out. I'll show you in a second when I get it kind of like I want it. And once I get it off of here, I can hammer on it some more, clean it up some more. I'll have to, especially right here. So basically, what it would be the bend here down to a flat, and then it would roll back and then have a reverse curve going into the dash. That's my thought. Okay, this is ready to cut loose. If anything, I know I can form this because that looks damn good. All right, I'm gonna cut it off. So I'll come back when I get that done. All right, I'm just gonna take a hammer. I got a hammer with a round head here to lightly work. You can't hear it a whole lot because it'll, like I say, it'll stretch. I'm just trying to take some marks out of it where I've bent it. Now, I'm not going to be able to take them all out like this. That's the wrong hammer. Hold on. I've got a better hammer with curved head, faces one this way and one this way. Pick the face you need. Works a lot better. Yeah, I don't want to hit it hard. I don't want it to stretch. I'm just working out, planishing it basically. If I can get it in there, a little filler, I don't mind putting a little filler on it to dress it up, if that's what it takes. Just getting this done and in there would be, frankly, would be it'd be something for me to do it actually. Just hitting the edges where I've been them. All right, let's go look at it on the truck. I can see a definite bubble right there that I don't like, but like I said, a little filler will fix it right up. I don't like it, but plus we got all kinds of welding to do, and I got a lot of that's going to be cut off too. Okay, now there it is. It's definitely too wide. I left extra material on the side on purpose for that exact reason. You probably can't see that. So what I need to do, I need to take off at least half of this. Because the further back, now also taking off this corner right here will let it start sinking back too. Because I'm hitting on the side and this top corner. So let's just start doing some fitting a little bit. Because I really have no idea how this is going to wind up fitting. I'm just winging it by the seat of my pants. Which I guess is a lot of times is how this fabrication stuff works, especially on something custom. It's custom. You just never know how it's going to turn out. Unless you've done it, look at George Barris and have done it 500 times. Nowhere else with that. My fear is I cut off too much, and it's going to happen if I ain't careful. And see, I want that to be down too. I don't want it to be way up there if I can avoid it. Alright, I need to take some off the side. That'll let it sit back in. That may be a mistake, but I'm going to have to do it. I don't see any other way around it. Just do it. No, I'm not doing a Nike commercial. Now these snips are starting to get a little bit boogering stuff up. I'm getting out the grinder, cutting wheel. When I find it, standing right beside of me. Snips are great on certain things, but then other things they're not. Alright, that got me down in there better. Let me cut some off the other side too. I made my line crooked. Don't want to do that. Probably yelling at the screen about the sparks. I'm being careful. I got my vision way out of the line of sight. I know it's still dangerous, but I'm trying. All right, that's, I mean, that needs a little bit of work on the side. Let me get my pliers. And all this is trial and error. And if this works, I still got to weld it in and blend it all. That ain't gonna be no fun either. The side can work at the top. Just give me this. I roll that more. I'll put more down more. And get it out of my pocket. Yeah, I got to check it. I got to do. We can try to get it. You're saying do that on the weekend. We can try to check a little bit. All of that. Right. I'm going to do a little more shaking. Not a lot, because, you know, it runs up. You can shake it. No, you can't shake like that. Just work it. I'm working it down there. Just take it down. Just take it down. Take it down. Work it down. Like this. You think you don't have to pocket this thing. I got to shake it. I'm going to knock out like this. Shake it. But, man, it's almost in there. It's really almost in there. Now I want to get it hot. I'm going to flat this down more. You know, grab that down. It is getting in there. I'd like to have it down about right there. Yeah, I can take off that much. I can take off a lot still on the sides. I'm just trying to be real careful. Because once you take it off, you can't put it back. Not easily anyway. Let me grab a pair of goggles because these cuts are getting a little bit crazy. I'll be able to do this. We're going to get on this one screw at home. Let's see what needs to work. Yeah, the one screwed up. Does that work? Everything's screwed up. Wow, we are really close. I don't know if I can get back and go a little bit. I want to move yet. I don't know if I can move it yet. I want to hold it yet. Have a minute. We do it. I don't want to do it. Alright, that's good. Far enough. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to hit it. Oh, I'm moving. I'm moving. So we got to get it. More sense. See some of these? Oh, alright, anyway. And then we'll go down there. There's more right here. No. It's really, really damn nice. It's all working. I'll put it up. I was waiting a minute when I think about how to do this. I'll do the high step. I think that's a lot of stuff. I'm going to go over. Take off this. I'm telling you, I know you can't see this. Alright, I know you can't see this. But that's not being just a little bit more. Ahead. There's it. You hear this back. Give me a second. Hang right here. dial this low. I'm going to set it 14 times. I see it's working. Normally, I would not do a flat wheel. But I'm thinking about going up. How do we go up? I'm going to do a flat wheel. Flat wheel, which is not something I normally do. I normally feel it's real nice and cheap. When you buy a flat wheel, my favorite not perfect. I'm not saying I can't do it, but I'm just thinking, man, I think this is going to be a spot. I think it's left with all around the way up. I really do. And I'm not getting myself. But man, this is, wow. This is, wow. I'll just reverse back to you. Of course, basically what you probably street or hot rod. You, additional types, I'm sure take this. That's not changing it. That's not sure. I'll do all of it. We all have that. You guys just have that special liver. I'm just saying, just think back forward. I haven't got the stop yet. I'll get that point. Stop saying, don't keep going. I haven't reached that point yet. I'm still getting. You're going to do your thing. You'll be trying to limit it. You know, you're going to turns. Then if you don't get one turn, you'll go force you up. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm getting there. I ain't there yet. That's all. I'm trying to say, I don't like talking about this before. So what I'm going to do, you can see this. I'm going to fabricate at least one time a minute, for sure. And lay it over the pliers. If you just, I'm not sure this, I don't want to do it. When you fabricate anything else, it's the same thing with fixture. Shake it, in, away, fix it up, cut it out, same thing. I'm not do that. I'm looking for a nice, just like north. We have that nice arch there, you can see lightning. This is why I do that. But I can't roll it back anymore right now. It's not leaning back to be able to do that. I can't do that without leaning back. I'm just not going to turn towards that go down. The bottom is not that wrong. I want the bottom to be up here. That's obviously not going to work out. I'm going to do. Can't pull up a little bit, I cut this off. I ain't going to cut it off. I'll just make one little turn. We'll cut it off. I mean, how can it stop me? I mean, how can she go and change it? Only she goes to it. And keep me on the rest of it. I'm sure at least some. I'm not going to let go. Don't say that. Don't go away from it. You say, you can't. That's not what I'm doing. I'll just say, I can do it for a long time. There's not top. I'll pocket somewhere. We're going to here. I'll put it down here. That got a little higher. Man, that's what we do. It's not perfect. That job not did. It's still better job. I thought. But for me, just not impossible. You're actually about dealing. Call it the thing. I'm technique. All technique. One thing I mentioned to show you. I feel the line. Just straight down, vertical line, and build line before everybody fab. That's how we keep it vertical. Now we do it high. When it takes like this high, you know, do it high. Pretty good. You already used it once, you're right. In this case, no, I did it high. Pretty good. Now, what I'm doing, I'll make a dim line up high. I can actually make that. Sit here. I'll put it down low on purpose to use some room. I'll let you vertical line at the end. I'm going to make it. Go ahead and make it. But you probably can't see that. Just, you know, right here, it's up, it's all out. It's going to be tired. So I like this. I'm going to feel or something. You can hear on both sides. I don't think we have to do that. That's it too. I'll finish that one. One more here. Alright. Ready? I'm going to cut this thing. I got to do it. It's already done. So, here goes done. I did not cut down my real line. Next time I make, I'll screw that. Let's cut down probably 8 minutes. Now should be close in. Oh yeah. I'll show you how to do it. That's more leak right in. If you like that thing, you have exactly what I'm talking about. I think a little knot. Don't try to out. I'll go back a little bit. That's something. Yeah, that's more. See what that's for? That, ladies and gentlemen, is just about good enough. One more leak. I'm getting some of this. Don't worry. It's all right. I like to put it back good. Before the nose I work it out there. You can't see it. There's a lot there. You're actually getting nice. Yes, sir. I'm trying to make sure you can be here. There's one back in the dash. For sure I do. I think I dare get cleaner for that. I'm going to get one on track. I don't have one right now. Yes, I'm not scared of this thing. I'm going to show. Yeah, that's it. Now there's one where I keep messing with. I'm not sure. Just about that one. I'm going to move it down. Also, for some reason, I'm not going to do this whole package all over yet. I do the whole side now. Some old cheat of mine, but I'm definitely not on that. That's why I said, hey, put several in there. So now you can cook. Consider work. There you go. Straight through. That was I'm not that may be really big. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's only going to cost you pretty fine. But that's it. I like it. I can't believe I did. I'm going to say that. I'm sorry to say it, but I really don't take some more. I really don't take some more. I'm going to that's not any idea. You know, make it look. First, like, I was passing out, I shut it over there. Then they find and mold it in nice. I never did it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I saw you first. I waited. Again, he's going to do it. That's fine. I try to remember the link to the in the description. I did have that so far. I'll do it. I'm talking about. Really nice to do it. A little more. Yeah, one there, actually. One more you got screwed up. Just stop on here. That's a little. Over here. That drop down. That's not that I don't like, but I can build up to it. I think I might do that. Try to not build anything in there. I don't want to look crazy. Anywhere around here, it's really good. It's fine. Anyway, I'll build it in. I'll be able to, get a little bit more to it. Help. I didn't lock it in there. I'm to the point now where I need to stop. That fits. Man, that fits nice. Let me grab a magnet and let me grab the camera and I'll give you a better look. Man, that fits good. Wow, I'm gonna try to stop saying it. I can't believe that worked. Wow. Seems like 8 or 10 of my harebrained schemes usually don't work. Now, most of them don't involve fabricating sheet metal, which, you know, I'm pretty good at, I have to admit. But I still didn't think it's going to work. I just didn't think that was going to work. Maybe I should have. I didn't. Come on, magnet, hold it up there. Gotta hold it in place and get the camera. Alright, there it is. Not in the exact spot, but it's close. I mean, it's in the ballpark. And the vent, of course, will sit right there. I'll try to get a little bit more light. There's where the top rolls down in, and the side, you know, it's got the chamfer or the radius bend, whatever you want to call it. And then what I plan on doing, like I said before, is putting a bend right there, straight break, kind of flowing into here best I can. And then when I roll the bottom, I'll break the bottom back, and I'm going to do my best to put a convex curve in it to match the convex curve in the dash. Now to do that, I probably need to get a, if I had a pull max, which I don't, I'm never going to have a pull max. Planishing hammer could probably do it with the right die. I could be on it with a shop bag and a mallet. I still need a planishing hammer, honestly. So maybe this is an excuse just to break down and buy me a planishing hammer. I don't know. If I bought one, I'd want to get a good one. That Harbor Freight one is, I mean, it ain't nothing more than an air hammer, air chisel. I don't know. For making 2 of these things, $400 or $300, whatever that thing's cost, might be worth it. Spending $1,000 for a good one, just, I don't know. But I got some other projects in mind too that a planishing hammer would come in handy for, and I can't talk about those right now because nothing's official yet. So anyway, I'm gonna call this video right here. It's late, time to go in. I just can't believe I got this done. Let's see, can't really see it, but there it is from up here. So what I'll do is I'm gonna take it off and weld that. There's where I hold on. There's where I split it. I pie cut it to get it to roll back. I'll weld that up off the bench. There's a little knot right there I can dress down when I weld it up. So I still got to cut my hole. Obviously got to cut my hole in the dash for the hose to pass through. And then of course I got to make the bottom. So there's still a lot of fab work to do. But we got that far. Wow. So I guess there'll be a part 2 to this little fabrication project here. So I guess as usual, thanks for looking in. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. This video has probably got long and a little bit boring for some of you. But hey, it's fabrication. It takes time. You can't just snap your fingers. At least I can't, and get stuff done. So, and oh, by the way, I still got to say it. Be sure and subscribe and mash the little notification button so when I post a new video, you'll get a notification and say, hey, that Cookster dude put out a new video. I want to go watch it. Alright, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.